Our top focus this morning, PDP chief Mehbooba Mufti has stirred a controversy while addressing her first press conference since her release. She was released after a 14-month-long detention. Mehbooba said that she will not raise the national flag until Jammu and Kashmir's flag returns. The former Jammu and Kashmir chief minister had two flags on her desk as she made the statement, that of her party PDP and the other of the erstwhile flag of Jammu and Kashmir. Launching a scathing attack on the centre, Mehbooba said that the robber has to eventually return what is robbed. The BJP slammed Mehbooba for her remarks, saying that she was behaving like an agent of the enemy state. Mufti's PDP is part of the six-party grouping of mainstream Jammu and Kashmir parties called the Gupkar Alliance that seeks restoration of the special status of Jammu and Kashmir as it existed before August 5th last year.
जिस वक्त हमारा ये झंडा वापस आएगा हम उस झंडे को भी उठा लेंगे, मगर जब तक हमारा अपना झंडा डाकुओं ने डाके में ले लिया है तब तक हम किसी और झंडे को हाथ में नहीं उठाएंगे। और वो झंडा हमारे आईन का हिस्सा है। हमारा झंडा तो ये है और हमारा उस झंडे के रिश्ता इस झंडे ने बनाया है। इट इज नॉट इंडिपेंडेंट ऑफ दिस फ्लैग जो हमारा इस मुल्क के झंडे के साथ रिश्ता है। जिस वक्त हमारे हाथ में ये झंडा आएगा हम वो झंडा भी उठा लेंगे। What they want is a territory. टेरिटरी तो इनके पास थी 2019 5 अगस्त तक जायज तरीके से थी, मगर जब इन्होंने एक रिश्ता तोड़ दिया जिसकी वजह से हमने इनके साथ इल्हाक किया था, एक्सेशन किया था, we had acceded to a liberal, democratic, secular India. We are not compatible, we are incompatible to today's India जो इस वक्त इन्होंने बनाया है, जहां माइनॉरिटी सेफ नहीं, जहां दलित सेफ नहीं है, जहां जम्मू कश्मीर के इज्जत आबरू पे डाका डाल के हमें बेइज्जत करने की कोशिश की गई। We are not comfortable.
I think the first question that should be asked of her is that on the one hand she claims to be the so-called mainstream politician of India, and on the other hand she has reservations in carrying the tricolor, which happens to be the national flag of India. They sometimes tend to be even more dangerous than the apparently identified separatist groups and separatist leaders, because they have cultivated the art and craft of swearing by Mother India, saying Bharat Mata ki Jai when in the position of power. The moment they are ousted out of power, they start swearing by Pakistan, they start questioning the integration of Jammu and Kashmir.
Meanwhile, as the nation pays homage to the victims of 1947 Pakistani tribal invasion of Jammu and Kashmir, the survivors and families of the victims have also hit out at Omar Abdullah and Mehbooba Mufti for choosing to remain silent and not condemning Pakistan for the barbaric crimes.
आसान फरामोश लोग हैं, हमारा एहसान मंद होना चाहिए था कि जो 47 के जो डीपीज जो आए तो 22 अक्टूबर को जब मुजफ्फराबाद का इलाका जो था वो ऑक्यूपाई हो गया तो हज़ारों की गिनती में जब लोग आए तो रास्ते में कवालियों से आर्मी से लड़ते रहे और 6-7 दिन लगे उनको श्रीनगर में पहुंचने के लिए। तो अगर वो लोग हम लड़ाई नहीं करते तो कश्मीर तक कब उन्होंने टेक ओवर कर लेना था। तो इन लोगों को शुक्रगुजार होना चाहिए था कि जो इन्होंने हुकूमत की है 3 जनरेशन, वो हमारी वजह से की है।
Umar Abdullah, no doubt he is a dynasty of Sheikh Abdullah, but I think he has deviated from that path long back. And when you talk about National Conference cadre fighting the Kashmiri, tribal invasion, it was the common Kashmiri who was fighting for their homelands, for their brothers and sisters. It was a Kashmiriyat they were fighting for. And had that Kashmiriyat been alive in these political dynasts, probably Kashmir would not have seen the bloodshed of 7 decades.
नेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस का इस तरह का रवैया ये साफ जाहिर करता है कि आज इनकी जो सोच है वो बदल चुकी है। ये वही पाकिस्तान का एजेंडा लेकर के आगे चलते हैं। पाकिस्तान में कुछ होता है तो उस पर रिएक्शन करते हैं, ना कि हिंदुस्तान में जो ब्लैक डे जो मनाया जा रहा है, जो फ्रस्ट्रेशन है इनकी, उस चक्कर में इनको इन चीजों का भी ध्यान नहीं रहता कि कितने लोगों को उस टाइम मारा गया, कितना उन्होंने हमारे पर जुल्म किया और नरसंहार किया। लेकिन ये सब इस पर चुप्पी साधे हुए हैं, ये शर्म की बात है।
And in Tamil Nadu, the focus is once again on NEET. This time, the Tamil Nadu government's plan of 7.5% quota for economically weaker in government schools has triggered a face-off. The Tamil Nadu governor, Banwarilal Purohit, sought 3 to 4 weeks' time to assess and approve the NEET quota bill. The opposition, led by DMK chief M.K. Stalin, announced that his party will stage protests outside the Raj Bhavan today, demanding swift action by the governor for the welfare of students. DMK also targeted the EPS government, saying that the current government doesn't care about the students as they have not put any pressure on the governor for his approval. Now, the AIA-DMK quickly hit back, saying that the DMK has been raising this issue only for political gains, and also highlighting that it was the DMK government years ago which introduced NEET exams in Tamil Nadu. Now, if passed in stipulated time by the governor, the quota will help over 300 economically weaker government school students this academic year. Well, the biggest faces from both the NDA and the Mahagathbandhan came out to woo voters in Bihar. The Prime Minister held 3 rallies in the state. He lashed out at the Mahagathbandhan, accusing them of blocking development in Bihar. His sharpest attack, however, was on the issue of Article 370, claiming that the opposition wanted the special status in Jammu and Kashmir back. Rahul Gandhi, who also hit the campaign trail, hit back at the Prime Minister, slamming him over the migrant crisis and questioning the government on tensions with China.
जितनी रिपोर्ट आ रही है, सब में यही आ रहा है, बिहार में फिर एक बार एनडीए सरकार बनने जा रही है।
नरेंद्र मोदी जिंदाबाद, Nitish Kumar Jindabad.
The NDA fielded its biggest match winner in Bihar on Friday. Prime Minister Narendra Modi shared dais with Chief Minister Nitish Kumar, who is facing a voter fatigue after 15 years in power.
गौरवशाली धरती के
The two addressed 3 rallies, with the opposition wrestling the initiative on the key issue of jobs. Prime Minister Modi played to his strengths.
आज ये लोग इस फैसले को पलटने की बात कर रहे हैं। ये कह रहे हैं कि सत्ता में आए तो आर्टिकल 370 फिर लागू कर देंगे।
He also made it a point to remember the brave hearts from Bihar who laid down their lives in the Galwan Valley and in Pulwama.
बिहार के सपूत गलवान घाटी में तिरंगा के खातिर शहीद हो गए ले। पुलवामा हमले में भी बिहार के जवान शहीद भइले। हम उनके चरण में शीश झुकावतानी, श्रद्धांजलि देवतानी।
नरेंद्र मोदी जिंदाबाद, Nitish Kumar Jindabad.
But most importantly, Modi tried to put any speculation of a divide within the alliance to rest. The opposition Mahagathbandhan too pulled out the big guns. Rahul Gandhi and RJD leader Tejaswi Yadav worked up the crowds with their job offers. While Tejaswi has been targeting Nitish Kumar, the Congress MP took on Prime Minister Modi.
जब चाइना की सेना ने हमारे 20 सैनिकों को मारा, शहीद किया और हमारी जमीन ली, तो हमारी प्रधानमंत्री ने हमारे वीरों का अपमान करते हुए ये क्यों बोला कि हिंदुस्तान के अंदर कोई नहीं आया? सवाल भाइयों और बहनों ये है। सोनिया गांधी जिंदाबाद।
Rahul also hit out at the NDA government over the migrant crisis and branded government's job promise as lies.
आप हजारों किलोमीटर चले, नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने आपको ट्रेन नहीं दी, बस नहीं दी। नरेंद्र मोदी ने आपसे कहा भूखे हो तो क्या हुआ, प्यासे हो तो क्या हुआ, हजारों किलोमीटर चलो, अब बिहार की ओर चलो, मर जाओ पिस जाओ, मुझे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता।
It was a blockbuster Friday in Bihar election campaign. Both fronts fielded their best faces. The NDA is hoping its Brahmastra will deliver, but can brand Modi repeat its Lok Sabha success in the state elections is the big question. Bureau Report, India Today.
And days after he was issued a show cause notice by the BJP for defending the Balia shooter, BJP MLA Surinder Singh was welcomed with rose petals during the Bhumi Pujan in Balia. The UP BJP chief Swatantrata Dev Singh was also seen interacting with the MLA. The rose petal welcome for this legislator comes a week after the Balia shooting accused Dhirendra Singh was arrested in Lucknow. He's accused of killing a man during a dispute over shop allotment. The BJP MLA had come out to back the shooter, admitting to his links also with him, and that prompted BJP chief JP Nadda to take action and issue a show cause notice to him. Let's also listen in to what BJP MLA Surinder Singh had said while backing the Balia shooter.
धीरेन्द्र सिंह यदि आत्मरक्षा में गोली नहीं चलाया होता तो कम से कम उसके परिवार के दर्जनों लोग मार दिए गए होते और उनके गोल के दर्जनों लोग मार दिए गए होते। मैं जरूर ये अपना आग्रह करूंगा कि दूसरे पक्ष के भी पीड़ित लोगों की पीड़ा को लोग समझें और उनकी पीड़ा को भी देख करके जो न्याय हो सके उनको भी देने का कष्ट करें। धीरेन्द्र सिंह डब्लू ने यदि आत्मरक्षा में गोली चलाया है तो गलत काम जरूर है, लेकिन उनके सामने मरने और मारने के अलावा कोई दूसरा विकल्प नहीं था।
Shifting focus, the nation is again witnessing a massive surge in onion prices. Prices have crossed the 100 rupee mark in most states in the country. This as heavy rainfall in Maharashtra, Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh affected the onion crops, leading to shortage of onion supply, pushing up the retail prices. The centre stepped in and announced measures to control the price hike by implementing a few curbs. The Consumer Affairs Department said that they've imposed a stock limit for wholesalers and retailers. The government has also created a buffer stock of 1 lakh metric tons of onions. Now, the opposition, meanwhile, has attacked the centre over the surge in prices. The Kerala government alleged that this was the impact of the new contentious farm laws passed by the parliament.
ये तो और बढ़ेगा क्योंकि इसमें जब रेट बढ़ते थे और जो लोग ज़्यादा अपने गोडाउन में कोई भी सामान रख लेते थे तो कलेक्टर को अधिकार था, राज्य सरकार को अधिकार था कि वहाँ वो छापा डाल के वो सामान बाज़ार में उपलब्ध कराए। लेकिन अब स्थिति ये है कि कोई कितना भी गोडाउनिंग कर सकता है, लेकिन सरकारें कोई कार्रवाई नहीं करेगी तो कीमत में उछाल आएगी। जो चीज़ कम होगा उसको पकड़ लेंगे और उसके बाद फिर रेट बढ़ेगा। इसी बात का तो विरोध है।
Rain and natural calamity is a fake news. It is only because of the central government enactment. Recently, they introduced the anti-farmer enactment in Parliament. This is the first impact of that enactment because Essential Commodities Act is demolished. It is an anti-national decision taken by the Modi government. It is an anti-national decision. He is claiming that this is for farmers. This is not for farmers. Actually, the beneficiaries is exactly the corporates. They are running the business in agriculture sector.
This is actually having an overall impact not just on the customers but also on the merchants because they have procured these items for this particular amount, and because the prices are high, people are not able to buy, and that actually turns out that there won't be any benefit for the customer, for this merchants who have stocked this item. And it's quite understandable. These are all perishable items, and beyond one point you cannot store these items. So certainly there is a sense of concern and ambiguity among the people as the prices continue to go up. With camera representing Rajshekharan Gopi Krishnan in Thiruvananthapuram for India Today.
Mumbai Indians handed a humiliating 10-wicket defeat to Chennai Super Kings to surge to the top of the points table with their 7th win of the season. Trent Bolt proved to be the wrecker-in-chief, rattling the Chennai top order with a series of wickets. Chennai, who suffered their 8th loss of the season, are now officially out of contention for a place in the playoffs. Bolt picked 4 wickets as Chennai could manage just 114 runs, which Mumbai chased down with 10 wickets in hand. Playoff spots will remain up for grabs as Super Saturday promises to come up with some exciting encounters, with KKR facing a formidable Delhi Capitals in the first match, while Kings 11 Punjab face Sunrisers Hyderabad. Kolkata Knight Riders will have to come up with a far improved performance and will have to figure out their batting order, which has been their Achilles heel so far. Sunil Narayan could be back after his action was cleared in the last match. KKR suffered a demoralizing defeat at the hands of Bangalore, who had restricted them to just 84 for 8. With 5 wins, KKR are still in the hunt for a spot in the playoffs and would look to add another win to their tally. In the next match, Kings 11 Punjab and Sunrisers Hyderabad both need a win each to keep their playoff hopes alive. That match kickstarts at 7:30 p.m. in Dubai.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.